Welcome back to the series where I'm creating my first professional Steam game. It's a survival meets automation game where you play as a very disposable android, and the only way to survive is to automate everything. In the game, you're tasked with connecting and powering these massive, mysterious stations out in the dark. Only 2 out of the 5 stations are done, so today, let's fix that. So there's this scene in Dead Space 2 called the eye poke. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you too have been traumatized at the thought of eyeballs. So when I needed a creepy boss for my game, I naturally decided to make an eye. So first, we had a circle. Move it here. Okay, now it's split in half. Have it floating from the top, and then a rectangle. This looks pretty good so far. Lines. Duplicate. 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 I don't know, some panel here. That might look good. So now, I think it's time for a time lapse. I start by fleshing out the color of the eye and giving shape to the bigger pieces before I really start to add some detail. Then, I focus my attention on the lens. My vision for this piece is to make the eyeball mechanical, so I decided to give it a camera lens for an iris, make it look like glass, and then add details to the cornea to make it pop. Moving back, I split the eye in half with some details and then work on what I guess is going to be the sclera. You learn something new today, you're welcome. The big piece is going to be a satellite kind of dish, don't ask me what it does, but the way I see it, this eyeball is going to be so big that I need to add a ton of details even to the smallest parts. Adding all these extra bumps and ridges was a ton of work, but, you know, hindsight's 20/20. And with that, we're ready to move on to the top. I feel like it'll be more mysterious and awe-inspiring if this giant eyeball is just hanging from the sky. So I added this black suspension tube, give it a little bit more details, and the full eye is done. Now we're ready to work on the base. I have this collection of reusable parts that I use in pretty much all of my designs for Atrio, and so I grabbed some of those and I'm creating this little power outlet that we're going to be using to decorate the base with. I then create a plug for our light bulb that we're going to be using to connect the base with, because the whole objective of the game is to connect light bulbs to each of these different stations, and then I add some solar dogs. And if you've seen our previous videos, you'll know what those are, so go check that out. But in the game, creatures can lash out from the dark, so we'll need to add some walls and gates for protection from within the base. Here I am, just adding an outline of the base, so when you enter, you're going to be protected and safe inside the actual base itself. These are my basic walls, and with that, I'm ready to add some tiling. The tiling just gives it a little bit more texture, makes it feel a little bit more like a unique space to be in. And with that, we're ready to move on to the final sign, just so you know where you are. Station 4, the iris station. Lastly, outer details like paths and trees and grass. And with that, our concept art is done. And I gotta say, I got a real good eye for detail. Okay, with this done, I'm ready to start prototyping some of the eye stuff in Unity. Eyeball, shrink it. Look how good that looks. So I've created this script and it makes it so the eyes follow the player. Oh, look at that. If I shrink the radius, now, oh, look at that. Oh, oh, oh. Look how creepy that is. With the prototype done, we added it to the Blood Lake, a biome we've had in the game for a while now that sports a mysterious but gorgeous blood red. And everything seemed to be done until one of our playtesters broke the game. Yo, wait, what the hell? You just, like, skipped every part of the game.
That sounds like a you problem, man. I mean, I literally just walked straight down here.
Alright, give me a day. Yeah, that's right, just keep going. Now, because Atrio is an open map, I needed a way to gate the players from just skipping parts of the game. And you are a robot, so when you mix water with electronics, you short circuit and die. But apparently players didn't like instantly dying. Let's fix that. So I've taken an existing particle, and I'm just gonna tweak it and see what we get. Speed it up, change the color to red, shrink the sizes, speed up as lifetime goes on. A little bit more flare here. So I think that one's done and we need to combine it with something else. Lightning. Let's use this. Too slow. Too fast. Oh, too many. Shrink it down a little bit. Okay, so this is the final product. We're actually gonna scale it in code in combination with the first particle system. And now you have a 4-second warning system that some of you will still probably ignore. So how do you actually survive the Blood Lake? Introducing
the Puff System.
In the early game, your non-rechargeable battery becomes rechargeable. So we decided to piggyback on that and introduce multiple battery types, each with their own unique
effect.
Purple batteries refill more. Blue batteries heal you over time. Green batteries are filled with spoilers, and red batteries provide you with water resistance. So when you consume batteries, the bar refills and you get this little icon showing you what kind of effect you get. So now you can explore the Blood Lake in complete safety. Mostly. It's spoiler time. Everything past this has spoilers, so just warning you, there are spoilers ahead. You've been warned about the spoilers. So once you make it to the Iris station, it's time to meet the boss. Literally. In the game, you play as an employee of Company 3123, and it turns out the Iris station is your boss. So when you connect to it, you'll get your performance review, you'll clean up the office, and you'll get to press this button. I wonder what it does. No, I'm just kidding. When you press it, you get an announcement! Atrio is coming out January 10th, and we need wish lists. The more wish lists we have on launch day, the better chance we have of being here. So please, go wish list and subscribe while you're at it. Send us $100. Tell your grandparents, and remember, January 10th. Alright. So when you press the button, you get to learn about friendship. And I'm not going to say too much outside of the fact that Mike and I have been working really hard on writing the story. There's so many good moments, cool cutscenes, and surprises that are coming in 1.0. They just make for terrible vlog content and spoilers. But the real reason these stations are important is each giant gives you a special ability. A giant eye is great at looking, so naturally it scans the surface and relays the info to you, giving you a minimap. What the hell? Having the minimap open doesn't pause the game, by the way. Now look, we're not planning on going all Ubisoft and flooding your brain with a million markers, but the whole world is completely shrouded in darkness, so giving the player some sense of direction is helpful. Here's how it works. Everything is pitch black except for the areas that are lit up by your lights. So you still need to go and explore the world and place light bulbs, but at least if you're lost, you can see where you are. The map is currently pretty bare bones and ugly, but it gets the job done. And if you've been paying close attention, you'll notice that creepy eyes are definitely a common theme in the game. The item finder is just this squishy little eyeball that's had a bit of an update. Its base now shows you the cardinal directions and where the other stations are. And the giant eyes in the dark are, and will always be watching. Now, we've made some other changes that aren't related to the Iris station, like this amazing plucking animation. And we animated our company logo. Whoa, it's not over yet. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and please go wishlist the game. Tell your friends to do it. Tell everybody January 10th, it's finally coming out after 5 years, and we cannot wait to show you what we've built. All right, roll the animation.